How do archaeological sites get those crazy site numbers? I thought I would cover this little educational bit about the subject since it was something newer for me, and I can't be the only one that has wondered how those names came about. I went to the top to get my answer. The rabbit. Rabbit has more experience than Imelda Marcos has shoes, so let's cut to the topic. There's a trinomal system for archaeological sites that is standard across the entire United States. That said, here's the scoop. The first number in this series is the state. When was that state named a state? So, state numbers are specific, a unique number for each state based on the alphabetical order of the state and territories in the 1940s. For example, Pennsylvania is 36 because it was the 36th state alphabetically in the 40s. The second part of the site identification will be 2 letters, and that stands for the county. The third is the actual site number within that county. Full example, I find the very first site in Jefferson County, and the site becomes 36JF0001. This system in Pennsylvania is maintained by the PHMC in Harrisburg and the PASS coordinator. PHMC stands for Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission. They're responsible for PA archaeology related activities. PASS, Pennsylvania Archaeological Site Survey. So that's a quick explanation of how Pennsylvania archaeology sites are named. How does a site get registered? An archaeological site is determined by a location that produces artifacts that can be pre-contact or historical. Technically, any site that shows human usage qualifies. All the forms can be found on the PHMC website. What kind of info is needed? Coordinates to the site, a description of the physical location, an idea of the area covered by the site, using a site map, which would be a U.S. Geological Survey 7.5 quadrangle with site plotted. Or, quote, lately they've been accepting Google Earth maps, unquote. And the most important step is the quality detailed description of the materials found and good pictures of the site, preferably quality color photos. So how about a general name of a site? Well, the naming of the site is up to the discretion of the person registering the site. Normally you go with the property owner's name, but often there's rock formations nearby or specific locations such as caves, etc. They already have names, so you just kind of use those. Once you've gathered all the information mentioned, you submit the PASS forms to PASS and or PA shares. The PASS coordinator will review and give you a number possibly. This will give you a number to label your artifacts. Now there's a common saying, remember, an artifact without provenance has no value. So, and this is a major point that I want to ring loud on too. Lots of people walk a field and find an arrowhead. Well, that's cool, but there may be some important information that can be gained from that artifact. I know countless people that arrowhead hunt and show them off. But there's something to ask yourself. Can having someone look at that artifact in the area you found it benefit history and learning? Yeah. Allowing someone experienced to take a picture so that they can record the information is fantastic. Those arrowheads, or points as we like to refer to them, carry a wealth of information. They can look at the size, the shape, and the type, and other details, and can tell approximate time period, Paleo, Archaic, late woodland period. It allows someone to see what tribes or peoples may have been occupying that area, or the approximate time that they were occupying it. It may help identify other sites in the area with real value for future preservation. And remember, an artifact without provenance has no value. And the real value comes in the information that that artifact provides. There's a lot of people out there that are probably saying, ain't no one looking at my artifacts, ain't no one looking at my arrowheads. Trust me, they could care less. Remember that the information that is garnered may be able to help identify a site that has already been registered nearby. And what if that site that was registered nearby may have some murky details? Maybe that point will help clarify details such as a timeline. Think about it this way. A site is registered as late woodland. You bring forth an artifact for somebody to look at, identify, photograph it. And what if it's found at that point takes that timeline back thousands of years? Another benefit, maybe the individual that helps you with the identification can give you an artifact number to put on that. Now you have value. Remember, an artifact without provenance has no value. Timber Adventures thanks you for watching our videos, and if you like it, please give a like and subscribe and comment. Any other additional notes regarding site registration? Landowner permission is not needed to register a site. In most cases, this has already been established since a great deal of landowners are identifying the sites themselves. It's also strongly encouraged to ask permission to explore. All registrations are confidential, with the information submitted not given out except to licensed archaeologists, and then only on a need-to-know basis concerning specific projects. How about PA sites, or sites that are in the Pennsylvania Archaeology Site Survey database? Are they protected? Well, National Registry of Historic Places have federal and state protection. Interestingly enough, Pennsylvania's Historic Preservation Act. The act requires federal and state agencies to consider preservation when proposing projects that may affect archaeological sites. The Pennsylvania State History Code. This code requires PennDOT to identify significant archaeological sites that could be impacted by transportation projects. Now, please note, it requires only federal and state agencies to consider preservation. That doesn't say mandatory to report. It doesn't say mandatory to preserve. Nothing is concrete in that. And what about private entities? Pennsylvania is a little different from other states, as there is no protection for these archaeological sites in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. PHMC does consult with the DEP on mining and oil permits, but the extractive industry's compliance with the PHMC suggestions is strictly voluntary. A quick and down and dirty in a nutshell review. As always, when dealing with an archaeology site, please take the time to use caution, care, and respect. Some sites are going to require a bit more cautionary compliance, cooperation to keep them preserved, and let's always use the respect and reverence when addressing indigenous sites. Next time, maybe I'll review some different types of sites you may find when you come across on the PASS survey. Info like burial or an earthwork, or maybe a cemetery, military site, old industrial site, even a shipwreck. Lots of options, like I said, in the future. And once again, I want to thank my friend Tom Rabbit for the information he provided. And I want to thank you guys for sticking with me and watching these videos. Thank you.